La Belle Dame San Mercy. In this session, we will be dealing with the first 6 stanzas of the poetry, where I'll be giving an analysis of the first initial 6 stanzas of the poetry. Let us have a look at the first stanza. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, alone and palely loitering? The sedge has withered from the lake, and no birds sing. These are the initial 4 lines of the poetry. And I have already mentioned that this poetry consists of 2 main characters. One is a medieval knight, and the other one is a femme fatale, a mysterious lady. And on the first stanza, we were being introduced with that knight who seems to be on a great pain. He's going through a painful situation now, and this knight is all alone, and he's looking so pale, so dull, and he is loitering, he is wandering aimlessly. He does not know where he is supposed to go. He is wandering where nearby a lake, and the peculiarity of that lake, that situation is such that through the third line we get a feeling that the whole setting of the poetry is a season which is indicating the approach of winter. The sedge has withered from the lake. Sedge means grass. All the grass have been dried up, and he is wandering nearby the lake, and the atmosphere is such that he cannot find any birds there. Perhaps the birds might have migrated. Perhaps there is something eerie and odd about that place, so much that we cannot find any presence of birds there. It is such a strange situation. He is caught up in such a strange situation that he is looking so dull and so weak and so pale. Second stanza. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, so haggard and so woebegone? The squirrel's granary is full and the harvest done. Oh, what can ail thee? What a painful situation that this knight is going through. So haggard, he is so tired, and so woebegone, he looks lost. He's looking so like a person who's having immense sorrow, and he is wandering aimlessly. He is tired and he's dull and he's so fatigued. The squirrel's granary is full, and this line the poet is giving as a hint that the winter season is gradually approaching. So during the summer season, what the animals would be doing is that they will be collecting all the food items which is required for them to survive during the winter season. So once the granary is full, then this animal is going to exist in their place until the winter season is over. So the squirrel cannot be seen anywhere there. Squirrel's granary is full and the harvest is done, because these animals might be hibernating. These animals might have migrated to another place, or this animal might be living in their own burrows, waiting for the winter season to be over. So the setting, the background, the season is clearly explained by the poet using the initial 2 stanzas of La Belle Dame San Mercy. The third stanza. I see a lily on thy brow with anguish moist and fever dew, and on thy cheeks a fading rose fast withereth too. I see a lily on thy brow. Now, the poet's facial features is explained by the poet. And the poet is saying that I see a lily on thy brow. Now, the forehead of the character, this knight, is like a lily. Now, why is he making a comparison with the lily? Because the color of the lily here, the poet might have hinted it would be white. He's looking so pale and so dull. In order to indicate that dullness, he's making a comparison of the face of the knight to that of a flower lily. With anguish moist and fever dew, we can find droplets of sweat on his forehead, which is looking really pale. And on thy cheeks a fading rose. Now, the cheeks of the character, the knight, is being compared to that of not a beautiful rose, but rather a fading rose. The color, that energy, the vitality, that flush of pink color that is gradually fading from his face. And it is quickly, he is looking so pale and so dull. And the next stanza, I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, a fairy's child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. Now, the reason for his dullness is explained in this stanza. The reason for that dullness is a lady whom he met on the meadows. This lady was extremely beautiful, as if it reminded the poet about a fairy's child. Her hair was long. This lady, the femme fatale, had a really long hair. Her foot was light. She used to glide as she is walking. She used to glide from one place to another. And her eyes were wild. There was something mysterious about her eyes. Some sort of a mystery is there in her eyes, which is making the poet say that her eyes were wild. Now, the next stanza. I made a garland for her head and bracelets too, and fragrance sown. She looked at me as she did love and made sweet moan. In this stanza, we can find that the hero, the medieval knight, took a decision to give her a few gifts to impress her. And what are those gifts? I made a garland for her head. He made a garland that can be worn around her head. A garland that is made of flowers. And of course, bracelets too. And a fragrance zone. Now, fragrance zone is a girdle which she can be worn around her hips. She looked at me as she did love. Now, the moment when she received all these gifts, she was so happy, like any other female would do, and she glanced at the hero, at this medieval knight, as if she was impressed by him, and she made a sweet moan, a strange sound, which the hero was not able to identify, a sound which was not familiar to the knight. But he misunderstood this moan as a yes, and he misunderstood this moan as a signal, or rather a symbol of love towards him. I set her on my pacing steed, and nothing else saw all day long. For sidelong she bend and sing a fairy song. Now the hero is on a ride. The knight decided to take her for a ride. For this purpose, the hero is making her sit on a pacing steed. Now, pacing steed means a fast moving horse. And nothing else saw all day long. So that whole day, both the knight as well as this lady, that strange lady, they both were sitting on top of a horse and they started riding all day. For sidelong, she would bend and sing. So all day, as they were riding on this horse, this lady would turn back and look at the hero, and she would sing a song. What kind of a song? A fairy song. A song that is not really familiar to the hero. A strange song which he identified as a fairy song. That's it. Thank you. We'll move on to the next 6 stanzas on the next part.